Hello everyone, TW here, and welcome to my stream of conscious style review of the much anticipated video game debut from All Elite Wrestling known as Fight Forever! Let's start with the gameplay, which is frickin' brilliant. If you've played the Aki games of old, then you'll pretty much know what to expect here. There are a few big additions to it, such as having not one but two strike buttons for double the melee pleasure. Another is that once your spirit meter is completely maxed out, you have access to signature moves. From there, you can do the usual routine of taunting to enter special mode and hit your finisher for devastating damage. In terms of match types, we have our garden variety of singles, tag, and multi-person affairs to choose from that we've come to expect. On top of that, we have one of the few titles to carry with it an exploding barbed wire death match where the ring is surrounded by the said subject, and once the 2-minute timer reaches 0, boom goes the, well, everything really. On that note, you'll probably notice by now that things are a bit more fast-paced in Fight Forever than your usual grappling game. This is due to the devs wanting a more old-school feel to things. Overall, I feel like they accomplished their goal. I've seen some people upset by this decision, but if you want a simulation-based wrestling game, 2K23 and Fire Pro Wrestling World still exist. I'm not saying it's wrong to prefer their approaches, but there's also nothing wrong with a complete alternative entering the field either. Getting back to match types, Falls Count Anywhere and Lights Out matches allow you to use anything that isn't nailed down, and oh boy, the weapon variety here certainly is something. I'm not even going to try to name all the different choices players have in mutilating their adversaries here, but just know that it's well over 40. Next is the Casino Battle Royale, which is basically a 21-person Royal Rumble match, except more difficult because you have to do a decent amount of damage before you can eliminate your opponent. Needless to say, the AI kicked my ass like they were Chi-Chi and I was Krillin. I do like how we finally have a Battle Royale with full entrances again. I really missed that. Last and possibly leastly is the ladder match. I say this because the AI was too dumb to stop me and I gave generous amount of time for it to do so. Hopefully they can update this in a future patch, because otherwise I feel like this would be a pretty fun match type to play. On a presentation side of things, Fight Forever is a bit of a mixed bag. The graphics look well enough. I prefer the stylized look, as it will probably age better going forward than the full realistic graphics that you usually see in video games, and it's probably cheaper as well. On top of that, this means the devs can focus less on getting every tiny detail right and more so on the gameplay. On a less positive note, the entrances are about 7 seconds long. Listen, I'm not saying that I want WWE's 2-minute long overindulgent wankfest, but 3 to 5 seconds longer would have been nice. At the very least, I'm happy we actually have championship entrances. That's something we didn't get in TNA Impact or AAA Heroes Del Ring. And on that note, let's talk about the roster. Another mixed bag. I'm more than happy we got people like John Silver, Cody Rhodes, ABADON, and Yuka Sakazaki, but the lack of Private Party, The Acclaim, the Seidels, Evil Uno, and Top Flight is a little disappointing. Yes, I'm sure they'll all be added later, but until we have absolute confirmation, my face will remain slightly sad. The creation modes are probably what are going to bring this game down for most people, as there isn't much here. I haven't touched this CAW mode yet, not really something I mess with anyways. However, the amount we can edit the in-game roster is beyond disappointing for me. I was at least expecting the ability to do palette swaps, but we can't even do that, I'm sorry to say, and this is something that really should have been included. At the very least, Crane Arena is rather decent. Not perfect, but still a much better first attempt than what we did find in WWE 12. And now for our main event of the evening, Road to Elite. This is our main single-player mode. For my playthrough, I chose Hikaru Shida. I started out fighting for the women's world title, but after losing it in a fatal 4-way match where I wasn't even pinned, by the way, the game shifted its focus to the Dark Order. Let me tell you, this was my favorite part of the entire game. These devs got these catchers of John Silver, Anna Jay, and Mr. Brody Lee down perfectly. And for this mode, you won't be just going from match to match. In between, you can work out to boost your stats, provided you're using a created wrestler. You can do press conferences and fan meetups to boost your morale, which will give you a spirit bonus in matches. You can also visit restaurants to chow down on the local flavor in a manner that reminds me of Yakuza 5. I mean, I can't be the only one thinking of that, right? Right? And there are also mini-games you can play against the elites, the elites, in order to win the the TNT title, I guess. Yeah, I'll say this. I don't blame them for not wasting time or resources on making a new belt for just that one short cutscene. Anyways, the minigames are fine distractions. I feel like they're going to be a ton of fun once you start playing them with friends and family members, especially compared to the AI. Nevertheless, our journey ends with us winning the AEW World Championship with admittingly not much build-up. As I'm writing this, I don't even remember who the champ was going into the match, especially since there was zero interactions between them and me beforehand. Like, I get it. At the end of a story mode, you want the player to win the world title, but there was a big missed opportunity in actually building up to it. Basically, the anti-Hangman Page. Taking things into a more positive direction, the music you'll be hearing in the menus, the cutscenes, the matches were all produced and performed by some really rad artists like Mikey Ruckus, Megaran, and Max Caster. And if you're a fan of AEW's music library, they got nearly all of it in this game. If they're missing any songs, you could probably count them all in one hand. Oh, and shout out to Little V for getting officially credited for Kenny Omega's theme. If you aren't subscribed to his channel, then you're missing out on some amazing covers and super catchy original tunes. And that was AEW Fight Forever. Is it the second coming? No, but what we have here is one hell of a foundation. I've seen some people basically wanting 2K23 levels of content, and well, that was never going to happen. In the second game, yeah, you can expect more bells and whistles to be added, but you have to walk before you can run, and FF's walking game is pretty strong. The Christian suite may not be good, but here's hoping the second game improves on it because they'll really need to. I can easily recommend this game if A, you're a fan of AEW, or B, a fan of the Aki-style wrestling games. I know that sounds like a very niche fan base, but it's one that's been neglected for quite a while, and I'm personally happy we finally got an HD No Mercy style game that so many other devs have promised and failed to deliver on. This really feels like a true passion project, and in a sea of corporate garbage that is the video game industry, I'll take something like this over a Call of Duty or 99% of Ubisoft open world games any day of the week. Thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to let me know what you thought of this game down below, and I'll see you all next time we travel back to Midgar for a different style of FF shenanigans. Have yourself an amazing rest of your day.